Hello traders, welcome to a new video on Ethereum's order flow. So in today's video, what we're going to be looking at is not the typical XBT USD Bitcoin on Bookmap, but we're going to be looking at Ethereum's order flow, and we're going to be predicting where Ethereum is going to go in the future. And you guys are going to learn a lot today about order flow and how to read it and how to predict where price will go in the short term. But before we get into the fun shenanigans of that, big announcement, I am currently writing and finishing and soon going to be publishing my fourth guide, and this one is on order flow, on Bitcoin's order flow and how to read it. And it can give short-term traders, medium-term traders, and long-term traders a large edge by being able to diagnose the supply-demand characteristics of market orders and of limit orders and how the limit orders change to be able to find where price is going to be going in the near future. So currently the way that I have it set up is I have, at this current moment, 54 different scenarios that can happen within order flow. So things like this, and really what they mean and what to do about them and how to profit off them. So I'll be giving you guys more details about that, but that will be released in December. So I'm really excited to be releasing my order flow guide in December. Okay, so Ethereum's order flow, what are we looking at? Well, I don't want to give away too much. But I will say some things. Of course, the rest you can find in the book when the book does come out. But this means something, and this means something too. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to really diagnose what's going on here. You're looking at Ethereum right now, right? But there has been a supply-demand change in this market. Identify it. If you can identify one out of these two of things that's going on, then kudos to you. If you can identify both, then, start your own prop firm. That is not financial advice or business advice. Start your own hedge fund. That is not advice either. What is advice is what's going on here. We see that a 413,000 contract wall, really this wall got moved up to here. That is telling me that that is a weakness of the sellers. What's the strength of the sellers? Well, if this was to be lowered, then that would be strong, right? But this large wall that we see right here, this large ask, or also known as an offer, was raised. So these guys want to sell higher. That's bullish. Look here. We go from 172,000 contracts on a bid to 486,000. So really, the bids just got stronger, the offers just got weaker, demand just rose, supply just fell. Or, demand and supply of the order book just shifted out of equilibrium. Now, if we look at what's going on, in here, I see a strong best bid with supporting bids down here. Price is likely to rise. And yeah, price rises. That makes sense. But let's keep looking for any changes that we see in order flow. Yeah, this would have been a great time to buy. I mean, you can just see how the supply demand changed before price rose. Okay, hello, Mr. 328,000 contract bid. Well, he just got added. That's another bullish sign. And remember, this guy who was raised at the beginning of this video, he just got raised again. So supply just went away again, and demand just got added. Price should continue rising. Buying any retracement would probably be a good idea at this point. What that means is if price goes down, during this current scenario, it's probably a pretty good idea to put a limit order, a bid in to try to get filled for the eventual uptrend that will probably continue. But I don't even know if price is going to go down because this looks quite bullish. Bid just got shifted up. Okay, now is a good time to probably be bidding. I mean, okay, the bids went away, they got lowered a bit. Let's see here. Yeah, now is probably a good time to be buying because I think that price will probably continue going higher. And it does, yeah. So if you had noticed this, you probably could have bought some around here and you were filled, and now price is rising again. Lovely. Okay, so price keeps rising. You could have bought around what, the 186.2, 186.3 area, and you'd be in a nice little profit here. Well, let's continue to look at this on a little more local. I know, guys, this is looking like all over the place. But remember that very dark means not many limit orders, and very, very bright red means abundance of limit orders. And the numbers that you're seeing here are the market buys and market sells that are coming in. And the volume histogram down here shows us the historical market buys and historical market sells. Now, do I see any? I do see something quite significant of the bid offer movement. I'm just going to reveal one of the scenarios from my book, but this is called an offer shift up. So this is when the sellers, this has happened a few times before, but the sellers are shifting their orders up, which is a bullish sign. The scared sellers basically, so price is probably going to continue rising. And it does. Look at that. We go up another 20 cents. Makes sense. Okay, we just went above 187, which could be a stop loss hunt. What's really going to tell me that is the bidding. I want to see if there's any change in the bids or the offers. Not really. So that's going to tell me that, okay, so the bids just got raised. Bid just went raised from here to here. Yeah, this still looks quite bullish to me. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be bullish. Price should keep going up. Okay, we have some supply coming in because this guy just got added, but I still think this is bullish. Yeah, so price did rise there. Okay, did he just get canceled and just got placed higher, so a shift up? Yeah, I think he did. Now, how are the bids looking here? Okay, well, this bid is getting aggressive. Okay. Okay, these offers are really getting interesting. I wonder if they're going to get filled. Who knows? So what do you guys think at this point in time here? I'm not going to reveal this one. This is interesting. I'm going to zoom in a bit, but what do you guys see in the order flow here? I know this is hard stuff, and I may just seem like Rain Man, you know, if you've seen the movie. I may just seem like Rain Man just like looking at a bunch of colors on a screen and making it interesting. Maybe that is what I am. But what also is interesting is being able to really diagnose the order flow so that you can predict where price will go and make money on it. So what do you see here? You know, if you were thinking about buying or selling at the current best bid or best offer, what do we do here? This is a really not too easy kind of order flow scenario to diagnose really. So I'm going to zoom in on the more local. Well, man, this one's really hard. I just gave you guys like a 8 out of 10, you know, 8.5 out of 10 difficulty problem. I mean, I'm gonna zoom back out to show you guys more book levels, but this is kind of tough now. Okay, well, that makes it a little bit more cleaner once we get an injection of 680,000 contracts on Ethereum. Is this bullish or bearish? I'm not going to reveal it, but to me, this seems more bullish. As long as that 186.8 isn't pulled, price should continue to rise. So price does rise, but then it's pulled. See that? Well, actually, pardon me. Price doesn't rise. We see heavy market buying, but watch this. Watch this in very closely. Watch very closely what happens to 186.8. Pulled. What does this mean? Well, here's exactly what this means. Guys, when you see a large bid or a large bid cluster added that's close to price, that's going to have a strong impact on price. Now, the minute that that's pulled, what that can do is have an effect similar to when you pull out the rug underneath the table. Everything falls through because that demand was supporting price at that current price. Because what you can think about this is, hey, at this point in time, everything that we see is built into the market. This is current equilibrium. Now, if demand continues to increase, meaning more market buys or more bids added, whatever, then price will likely rise. But if this demand is pulled, what that can actually mean is that supply has just become greater than demand because this is currently equilibrium. And that's what happens right here. The demand was just pulled. Not a good sign for the buyers. And price falls. So always be on the lookout for when this demand gets pulled, when this demand gets placed. When that demand got pulled, we can see price went down a few ticks. Okay. Oh, geez. Yeah, this is looking like some strong selling. I was like, wait, should I reveal it or not? Oh, we just got a bid shift up, though. The bid just shifted up. This is interesting. Okay. Someone's got to make a drinking game out of coffee or whatever of your choice. Every time I say interesting, you got to take a shot. Okay? But I don't care if it's an espresso shot or a water shot or a Diet Coke shot or I don't know, whatever shot. Take a shot every time I say interesting. Interesting. So what do we see happening here? Well, we see some interesting bidding movement, but the sellers look quite strong. So what do you guys think? Who's going to win this one? The sellers who are market selling into the bids, or do we think that the bid shifting is going to cause price to rise? I think that the sellers are going to probably win this one. The price will just keep going down, and this guy's just going to probably get lowered or canceled. He did. Price did just keep going down. What's going on? Well, this kind of movement is something that I wrote about in my book called Shadows. So sometimes what you see is smaller bids and smaller offers kind of shadowing price like this, right? And when you see that, we know that the bids are not really ready to transact. The buyers don't want to buy, and sellers are very willing to transact. Sellers want to sell. When you see this kind of movement, price tends to just continue going in that direction, which in this case would be falling. Do we see any interesting bid offer? Interesting bid offer move. Well, these guys just all got canceled and shifted lower. This does not look bullish. I mean, we got this guy added, awesome. But this just doesn't seem bullish to me. Okay, offer shifted down, bid shifted down. Golly gee, I wonder what's going to happen. I think price is probably going to soon fall. And price does fall. Why did I say that? How do we know that? Well, look at this, guys. I mean, this isn't local. This is zooming out a bit. But what we see here is the offer of 300,000, just about 300,000 or 260,000, was shifted lower, showing me that the sellers have become a little bit stronger. The bids have been shifted lower too. This is just telling me selling strength. We also got more supply added to the market. Now again, you always have to think about supply versus demand. You know, if you've taken Econ 101 or, okay, why am I, that's a university class, but if you've taken any kind of econ before, what you know is with the supply demand curve, when one gets larger than the other, price likes to go back to equilibrium. So if supply is larger than demand, price will tend to fall until supply meets demand and price is at equilibrium. If demand is greater than supply, what you're typically going to see is price will rise until demand equals supply at equilibrium. So what we're always looking for is states of disequilibrium, where supply is greater than demand or demand is greater than supply, and then we want to trade in the direction that is dominant. So here we can see that the sellers are stronger, supply is stronger. And if I look at the volume histogram, I can also see that there's a lot more red than green. So price is likely just to continue falling. So let's talk about what just happened here. The bidding just got shifted lower again. I mean, these guys really don't want to transact. Okay, do we see any difference here? Do you guys believe these buyers? Do we think that these buyers are strong, or do you think that price is just going to fall again? You know, guys, I actually, well, you guys talk first. I mean, if you're on a subway or at home or, you know, with 20 of your friends, just start talking to yourself like I do. I think the price is going to fall. Do that. And then everyone will be like, oh my God, this guy's an order flow god. Not me. I'm talking about you. You are an order flow god. Okay. This one's tough. I mean, look, we see an offer shift lower. But there's just not a lot of buying. I mean, like, look at this. Just not much buying from here to here. Besides the first market buy, I just don't see much buying. I know I see a large bid cluster, which is typically quite bullish. It's just that this offer shift lower. These bids just shifted lower. I think the price should be falling unless we see the demand supply change again. Not much reason for me to, yeah, and prices fell. Okay. Now the question is, will price continue falling? And I think it probably will, and it does, as you can see here. Now pay close attention to what this bid cluster does, this cluster of a lot of limit buys. You know, if that's pulled, wow, that'd be quite bearish. They read my mind. So I think, did it get pulled or did it get just placed lower? Well, either way, yeah, that was quite bearish and prices fell. You can see it fell like that. Are the offers still strong? I mean, look, I know the bids are retreating, which means the sellers are on the attack here. But where are the sellers? I just don't see any sellers here. And that's why price is just cutting through these guys. Okay, we just saw an offer shift up. And we see more bids added. Is this actually, this might not be a terrible time to think about buying, I think. Not buying at the current price, but buying on a retracement if price goes down and using a limit order. So price is going down. But I think this is a not terrible time to buy. So imagine that, yeah, I mean, imagine, okay, we have a lot to go through. Yeah, I think that buying around here, that's basically what I was saying, buying on a retracement. So a move like this. So if we had bought here, I think that that's probably not a terrible time to buy. And look at that. If you bought around the 0.7, 0.6, 0.65, you're in profit right now. Now, why did I say that? Why did I say, hey, it's probably a good idea to buy this retracement? Well, what's going on is I see a shift in supply that goes higher. So the sellers are getting a little bit weaker. The bids are still pretty strong, and if anything, they actually get shifted closer to price, which is quite bullish. I do see a bid shift lower and an offer shift lower, which is typically overall bearish, but I think that this overall structure just feels quite bullish to me, and that's why I said it was a good idea to probably buy here and potentially take profit. Okay, well, you know what? Market went down before we could take profit, but this is interesting. So let's do a scenario where you had bought at 0.6, you bought at 185.6. Do you want to hold your position here, or do you think that price is going to fall and you want to just sell with your 35 cents in profit? Interesting. Oh, I keep saying it without even like knowing I'm saying it. Okay, you just have to drink. You just had to drink another shot of something. Ooh, did the demand just get pulled? Look at all this demand here. It's built into the equilibrium, and then when that gets pulled, yeah, I think this is a good time to sell. Um, you're gonna have a little bit of profit because you bought at point 0.6 and you're selling at point 0.9. But this does not look too good for the buyers. I mean, I don't really see much reason, just to zoom in here, I don't see much reason to hold in my long. I mean, watch prices. If prices rises, I'm just going to be like, oh, whatever. But I just don't think that this is bullish. So price should be falling soon. And yeah, it does. To the market's credit, yeah, I was a little bit wrong. I didn't expect price to go up a little bit. Price does go up a little bit, then drops. But you know, I said the price is going to drop, but price actually rose first. But you know, we're not all order flow gods. We're not all Eddie Mora. If anyone got that reference from that movie, then kudos to you, because that's actually it's one of my favorite movies. That's like a decent movie. It's not like a really good movie, but it's a decent movie. Yeah, it's a fun movie though. If you haven't seen it before, definitely watch Limitless. That's the movie that we were alluding to. So what do we see here? Well, yeah, so the price does go down as we had predicted. Do we see any shift in the bids or the offers here before price rise? Well, we see some shadows going up. Does this just feel bearish to you guys? Is this bullish or bearish? Who do you want to bet on? You gonna put money on the buyers? Or you want to put money on the sellers here? I mean, what do you see? To me, this feels bearish. I'd feel a lot more comfortable selling this, especially if we get a bid shift down. Yeah, we get a lack of bidding around here, so price should be falling soon. And it's probably going to touch around these guys. And it sure does. So yeah, so this was quite bearish. It would have been a good time to sell. I think that's kind of clear. I don't say clear from my analysis. I say clear because price actually did fall. We see a bid reduction. So we get minus 50,000 down here. You can see that. That's something I noticed. We see some bids were pulled. We see some bids were pulled here. Not much happened here. And then bids pulled here. So really we have a reduction in demand. Supply is steady. Not much reason to think that this downtrend's done. I think that this is another place where you could actually make some money and by shorting somewhere around here. Maybe at the 185.75, 185.8. You know, if price goes up to 185.8, maybe that's a good spot to short. Oh man. Well, will you look at that? That would have been a perfect short. I mean, well, I mean, for like a few ticks. Not like a perfect short, but this looks good for the sellers. I would not mind have shorting at 185.8. That seems pretty good for me. I just have to pay attention to what this demand down here is doing to make sure everything looks clean. Awesome. So we're in profit if we had shorted the 185.8. We see reduction in bidding. That's awesome. I'm loving that the bidders just went away. Yeah, this looks quite bearish. I mean, I'm gonna keep paying attention to these guys down here. Ooh, bid just got shifted up. Do you want to take profit at 0.6? This is interesting. This is interesting. You have the opportunity to take profit and to just take that 20 cents and just pocket in the bank, or you can hold on to this short. What do you think you should rather do? You know what? I'm gonna say I'd take half profit. I think I'd take half profit at 185.6 and maybe short higher. I think that's not a terrible idea to take off 50% of your position, then maybe short a little bit higher. So yeah, so we take half profit there, and oh, awesome. So now we're deeper in profit with that other half of the position that we held. Why did price fall? Well, look at this. We see a bid shift higher, and price does go higher as a response to that added demand. But what we see is bid canceled. This bid was just canceled of 362,000. That reduction in demand led to a price to fall. We also see an increase in supply up here. So this is pretty comfortable for the sellers at this point in time. Now, I'm seeing these bids just getting shifted lower and lower. I'm not liking that. I mean, well, I love it because I shorted at 185.8. I took partial profit at 185.6, and I'm holding the other half of my 185.6 short. I don't see any reason to take profit yet. I mean, I hope there's no like large market buy. Yep, awesome. So we're deeper in profit now. Anything that I see that I should be worried of here, or is price just going to continue falling? What do you guys think? This is what you're looking at right here. Is price just going to continue falling or not? Because the funny thing is, we're at the current time. So the predictions you're making are live. You and I both have no idea what's going to happen in the future, but fellow humans, fellow guys, girls, bots, or whatever, we're live. I think price falls. Yeah. What's this? This is a reduction in demand. I'm seeing bids getting placed lower, right? Supply is steady. If anything, supply is increasing near current price. Yeah, this just looks like price is going to fall soon. We also see, I'm loving this 300,000 contracts that was added right here. I want to see what actually happened when that was added. Let's look at the 30 minutes. So when that was added, price actually began to fall, and we got that bid cancellation. So if I go to a very short term, let's go to that 5. Yeah, so wait, did it just happen again? The bids just got shifted lower again? Yeah, this is quite bearish. I think that price should be falling soon. Let's see if I'm right if price does fall. Come on, price. Someone sell 15,000 contracts, please, at 185.25 and fall. And like that, it falls. We have correctly predicted the order flow, and price has fallen 1 tick. Will price fall 2 ticks? We will see. Well, right now I see price should be falling. I'm seeing more supply than demand, and I think that to get to equilibrium, price needs to go a little bit lower. And until I see some change in this market structure, I'm not really thinking price should rise anytime soon. But what I am thinking is how long I actually want to make this video, because the longer the video, the less views you get. But if you made it this far, then you guys are order flow tier gods. You guys want to learn. You guys aren't just the ones who say, "Oh, 1 minute, blah, 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 whatever." You know, you guys actually want to learn about this and make some money. So, kudos to you, and may the Bitcoin ever line your pockets. Yeah, this is really interesting now. Take another shot. So, what we see here is we just saw a bid shift up. This is feeling bullish now. Price is going to rise soon on this Q. Yeah, so price does rise. Here you can see we're at the 0.25 now. Why did price rise, and why did I say that and make it all dramatic? Well, we see a bid shift lower and price fell. Okay, cool. We see a bid shift higher with an additional bid placed and price rose. Now what we just saw is a 186.2 383,000 contract offer. And we're seeing more offers getting stacked here. So currently the demand was greater than supply, and now that supply is coming back, and that supply is becoming greater than demand. But what does this mean? If you're going to listen to anything, listen to this next sentence that I say. If price stays here at equilibrium and does nothing, and these offers get canceled, price will probably rise. If price stays here and these offers remain, then price will likely fall. So what does that mean? Well, if those offers were to suddenly be canceled, then that would switch the equilibrium to less supply, then demand is greater than supply, price rises. But what actually ended up happening here is we were at equilibrium, but the supply remained. This supply was not pulled, so price falls. But time is very important to look at for how long something has been active. Okay, I want to get this here. Yeah, so I think that since this supply stayed and actually got shifted lower, that this is actual legitimate bearishness. And I don't think that this is a kind of spoofing method where we put on a lot of where they put on a lot of sells, a lot of offers, then pull them all at once because they're bullish. And you know, they want to make some money on their long position after they spoof into some bids. Yeah, I'm seeing supply get added, guys, and this looks pretty legitimate so far. The price should be falling soon. On cue, price does fall. Come on, keep falling and impress the fans. Okay, we just got some bids added at the best bid of 185.2, but I'm still seeing supply pretty strong up here. I'm still seeing these offers still look strong, so I see no reason to exit a short here. I see no reason to really do anything crazy. This just kind of pretty much looks bearish to me on Ethereum. Yeah, so price should be falling soon. Unless we see a change in demand. If I can see a lot of demand get added, then maybe I'll say, hey, no, actually price is going to be rising. But it looks like right now the sellers are stronger. It's just a matter of time before that best bid of 8,000 contracts is going to drop. Now 100,000 contracts. All right, what's going on here? Oh, geez, those offers just ran away. So we were at equilibrium, and the offers just changed. How is price going to respond to those offers changing? If it goes up, then that means we're high demand. But if it doesn't go up and doesn't take its space, then that probably means that we're in a higher supply period. The longer this is at equilibrium, the more confident I am the price is probably going to fall. Especially, how big was that market sell? 77,000 contracts. Okay, this video was definitely way too long. My computer's almost about to die because of how long this video is. This is going to take like what, 55 hours to post to YouTube. Okay, so let me just recap. Hopefully price fall. I don't want to say hopefully, but I think price is going to fall soon as per my prediction. This looks quite bearish. Looks like supply is greater than demand, and I think the price should be falling. But if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys can check out the other books that I've written before, which are linked in the description below. Ooh, offers just got canceled? Are they interesting? Really strange offer movement. What are you guys doing? Just like moving all over the place, spoofing it all up. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys can pick up my guides. You guys can also use Bookmap, which I'm going to attach in the description below, for Ethereum, for Bitcoin on Bitmex. And it's very helpful to be looking at this in real time if you are a scalper, because there are a lot of ways that you can use this to make profits at any hour of the day, whenever the market's open. If you can read order flow successfully, then you have a skill for life. So with that, keep practicing, keep trading, keep being you. Bye-bye.